shut that nigga off.
All right, we live. Let's get it. Let's get it. Happy Wednesday, hump day. We got some good stuff for you guys. We've been talking about it. We've been showing it. You guys been seeing the flyers. When I say that the real estate wholesaling is going up, it's going up. And me and Shawn, we're here to give it to you guys clear, cut, and dry. And you guys are going to leave here understanding why there's no better time than now to be in this industry. And we're going to be showing you guys the fastest entryway into the real estate business, the fastest and most affordable entryway into the real estate business possible.
Precisely.
And it's been a game changer, and for sure a lifestyle changer for myself. I'm pretty sure Shawn would say the same. And we're just excited to be here live with you guys tonight on this Wednesday before the Christmas holiday to share this information with you. So I'm super excited. Shawn, how you feeling over there?
Man, feeling good, feeling great. It's that time of year again where, we tend to reflect and figure out, hey, what happened this year, and Christmas time is among us. Did I do things right, or did I fuck it up a little bit, or what can I do better, right? And so every single year we tend to get an influx of new students that say, hey, I want to change my financial situation for the upcoming year. And I am thankful, and I'm sure you are as well, Byron, and grateful that we are able to teach folks how to change their lives every single year, every single month, every single week, right? And that's why you guys are here today. So, are you ready to learn a proven system that has helped hundreds make $10,000 or more in 45 days or less, right? That's what we're here to talk about. If you're tired of that 9 to 5 grind, if you're looking for a profitable side hustle, or even if you have some real estate knowledge and you just need that extra kick. I mean, we've had so many students come in and know wholesaling a little bit. They've closed a deal or two, but they just can't seem to get that consistency, right? And that's one of the things that we've been able to do over the past 5, 6 years is help folks become consistent in this business and turn that 10K into 50K into 100K, right? Into really life changing, situation changing money. So, there's opportunities all around you guys. Every single day, there's something going on in real estate. No matter if the market is crashing, no matter if the market is booming, there are people in this business that are making money no matter what goes on in the outside world. And so, this is a prime opportunity for you to become one of those people. Byron?
Yeah, definitely, Shawn. It's definitely the time in the season, and as you were saying, it's always the time, right? Especially in this side of the business that we're going to be talking about today when it comes to wholesaling, because the foundation of this side of the business is actually helping individuals out of those distressed situations, right? Where they need to make money fast, they need to sell their homes fast, and just to give a few examples, a lot of times people go through stuff, right? People lose their jobs, people go through divorces. Unfortunately, people experience death, right? Loss, and all of these things leads to situations where they have to sometimes sell homes, right? They need to sell their home. They need to get money fast. You got situations where sometimes people have fire damage and they don't have insurance, right? So now they got to figure out what they're going to do, how to sell their homes quickly. Floods, right? A lot of times here in Michigan, we experience floods. Well, a couple of times we have, and a lot of people lost a lot and they didn't have that flood insurance. And so their only way out to save them was to be able to sell their properties fast. And that's what we mean by, there's a ton of hidden opportunities around you. You just don't have that information necessary to tap into it. And what we're going to be teaching and showing you guys how to do, which have become life-changing careers for myself and Shawn, is how to take all of these situational opportunities that you're passing by each and every day and turn them into profits, right? And that's the biggest thing that I personally try to get through to all of the students and all the people that I train. That's really where the most of my success comes from, is helping those friends, family, relatives, all the students we've been able to bring it to top tier, is helping them to realize that, hey, you're passing money in the real estate industry every single day, every time you leave your house, but you just haven't been able to capitalize on it because you were lacking this information, right? And that's the information we're going to talk to you guys about, is how to identify cash in your area, how to identify profitable deals, not only how to identify, but how to identify as well as assess those deals as you're passing them by consistently daily. And as we get into it, you guys are actually going to be like, kind of like how it was for me. It's going to be that shock factor when we just start to talking about some of the things that we know you see on a daily basis, but you just don't know what they mean, right? Such as like the bandit signs where people say we buy houses fast, close with cash. That's a sign, right? That's marketing material for us in this industry. But I won't get too deep into that part of it right now. We just want you guys to be prepared and make sure if you're on this call, if you catch this call, that you got your pen, your notepad, right? Because you want to take notes. This information has created millions of dollars for myself, for Shawn, of our business is constantly growing. And not only that, it's a part of the industry that's going to be around for the rest of this life to come. Real estate isn't going to go anywhere. We're always going to need a place to stay. And this opportunity is definitely going to be here as long as the real estate industry exists. So get your pens, have your notepads, your iPads, however you're going to take notes. Prepare for questions. You guys are going to be able to drop questions in the comment section. We're going to try to answer as many of those questions as possible, but take great notes. And then we're going to have a great opportunity and surprise that we've never, ever, 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 ever done before. But it is the Christmas holiday. So we are going to give you guys a great opportunity towards the end of this call. So stick around for the entire call because we're going to have an opportunity that we've never done before to connect with myself and Shawn on a personal level.
Yeah, and absolutely, absolutely, and like Byron said, make sure you get that pen and that pad and take notes because we're gonna give away a whole lot of free game tonight, and you'll really be able to get out of this webinar and start that journey into making money in wholesaling real estate or real estate investing. So don't let this information go unheard or unremembered or unnoticed, right? Take your opportunity and grab it by the horns, and something as simple as a free webinar could start that journey of making a huge difference in 2025 for you.
Definitely. Cool. So I'm gonna just talk to you guys. For those of you all who may just be tuning in, some of you guys have seen me on social media. You may have heard about me. I may have closed some deals with you. But I'm just gonna give a quick background on myself and just how I got into this industry. Right. I'm gonna try to keep it as short and brief as possible. Well, I am gonna keep it short and brief as possible because I know we all want to get this information, but we want to enjoy our Wednesday evening as well. Right. So as you see on the screen, I actually started off in sales and marketing. So I started off as an entry level sales rep back in 2014, long time ago, right? And I had an opportunity to where I got some really unique sales and marketing training in the industry with DirecTV and AT&T as the client. And just to keep it short, I was able to be trained and developed. I took those skills, that information, and I was able to start and build and grow my own AT&T franchise, which I owned and operated for 5 years. And I took a lot of experience away from that business that has helped me in this real estate journey. And I experienced a ton of success running my franchise. And I also experienced some failures, right? Which, like they say, failure is not failure. We're just failing forward to ultimately what we're supposed to be doing, right? So what that business allowed me to do was to grow not only as a businessman, but to grow and financially, but most importantly, to grow personally, right? So I had a ton of success. I became a number one sales representative in the country for DirecTV and AT&T twice. I started my franchise. I was a top five office in the country. I traveled all around the world, trained, developed reps, all that good stuff, right? But personally, I wasn't ready for success. So as all of the success I was experiencing came, vices came along with it that I ultimately wasn't prepared for. So long story short, those vices kind of took over. I was having a ton of fun. I became irresponsible, and I ended up having to shut down my multi-million dollar a year business. Now, the gift in that was the discovery of this opportunity in the real estate industry, wholesaling real estate. Coincidentally, at the time that I was shutting down my franchise and didn't know what I was going to do, I didn't know what was going to replace the income and the lifestyle that I had been accustomed to living at that time. Shawn had discovered this wholesaling real estate, and Shawn's my brother. He's my brother over 20 years. We've been rolling, right? And at that point, when I was closing down my business, Shawn actually had been in the real estate industry for, I believe it was about 8 to 10 years. He can tell you the exact, but he had been in the real estate industry at that time, but he hadn't discovered wholesaling either. He was a realtor. But I remember just telling him what I was going through with having to shut my company down. And at the same time, where I was kind of going through a failure or a loss, whatever you call it, Shawn had discovered this wholesaling real estate, and his conversation was a little different. We would be talking on the phone, and while I'm talking about, oh man, I gotta shut the business down. I done messed up, bro. I done ran the business to the ground. I don't know what I'm gonna do. He was talking like and excited about making tens of thousands of dollars in this newfound part of the real estate industry. So it kind of lifted, not it opened my ears. I'm like, okay, I know this is my brother. I know that he's not gonna just be saying anything to me. But it went from him saying that he was making tens of thousands of dollars in the real estate industry to me starting to see it, right, with my own eyes and see that lifestyle change. So one thing I knew is the same as me getting the opportunity to build my AT&T franchise. I knew how to spot an opportunity. So I'm like, hey, if Shawn's making this tens of thousands of dollars doing this real estate business, I'm going to tap into that and learn it too. So I just started talking to him consistently daily as I was making my transition. And as he was growing in the business, I was growing right alongside him, right? And so I'll never forget. I was going on a retrain. I was going to actually try and rebuild my franchise back up and just start over, but I no longer could even pay attention to it because this wholesaling thing was taking off for Shawn, and it was starting to make the most sense to me as well. And I remember I just couldn't even focus on what I was supposed to be doing to rebuild my business. I was just focusing on wholesaling. And so I got into the wholesaling business. It was 2019. 2019, right around March, is when I said, hey, I'm going to close all back doors. I'm going to do this wholesale real estate thing. I'm going to just put my focus into it and I'm going to grow. And so from that time in March till it took me about 5 months, right around August is when I closed my first wholesale deal. And my first deal was for $5,000. It was from a family that I had met on Craigslist. Actually, I was on Craigslist, one of the ways that we find off-market deals. And I spoke to a family, and their dad had passed, and it was like three brothers. It was three sisters and their older brother who had the property listed, and they were all married. They had their own things going on, and they just wanted to sell the house, be done with it. They didn't want to carry that memory. So I said, hey, I'll purchase the house property from you for this amount. They agreed. I secured the contract, and I was able to get that deal in front of ultimately my end buyer who bought the property, and I made $5,000 in between. I was so excited and shocked that I literally made $5,000 from the comfort of my home by having this information and going on Craigslist, identifying an off market deal based on this information, not putting any money up, just presenting this deal to other investors as it came across me. An investor bought the deal because Shawn showed me how to calculate the deal, what to look for, what to find. The investor bought the deal from me and paid me a $5,000 commission fee in between for finding this deal, assignment fee. So when that happened, I said, game over. You telling me that I can make this type of money? I don't even have to leave my home. I can travel. I don't have to report to an office because when I was running my franchise, even though I had a ton of success and was making a ton of money, I still had to be in the office Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Sometimes I didn't leave the office to 7 p.m., sometimes 9. And yes, the success was great, but the lifestyle, it really wasn't all that, just to say the least. Versus being able to do this wholesaling business from the comfort of my home when I'm on vacation, I'm literally able to source deals and I'm able to put things into place wherever I'm at mobile to consistently close. And we're also not limited to the markets in which we're able to close deals in. So the wholesaling business for me has really been a life changer. And what I mean by that is I've always made money. I've been financially successful for a long time. But what this business has given me is that time freedom that I know that I was yearning for, and I know so many other people yearn for it. I don't miss any events for my daughter. I'm able to be pretty much anywhere at any time that I feel like it, and my business is still running based on the tools and things that we've put into place in this business that we're going to talk to you guys about. And when I tell you guys, if you just like me, I was looking for an opportunity to replace the income that I was accustomed to having, and I was like, I had to figure out something. If I give you any advice before I pass the ball to Shawn, it simply is this: the genius thing that I did was I took it serious. I took it serious. When the guy was saying, "Hey, I found this wholesale in real estate. I'm making tens of thousands of dollars. I seen him making the money, kind of similar to what we're saying to you." I took it serious. And from 2019 to now, 2024, I've been just strictly wholesaling, investing in real estate. We've grown millions of dollars, and we're constantly growing. And that was simply for me making the decision to take action, have a student mentality, and understand that if this is something that's happening in this industry and other people are doing it and they're having success from it, you can too, Byron. And that's the most. If I leave you guys with anything on this call tonight, is you have to take action. Forget the words. Like, we're gonna give you guys a ton of information. We're gonna tell you a ton of great stories about our success, about other people's success. But the most important thing for you to carry is that nobody in this industry is going to have any of that success without taking a chance, and taking action. So take this information we're going to share with you tonight and take action. Even if you just go double down, take your notes, go Google, go to YouTube, just to verify that what we're telling you on this call is a real thing. What you do next, leaving this call tonight, is going to determine your success, your future, your existence in this industry moving forward. It's going to be all about taking action. So that's just my story. Obviously, I stand supremely by the opportunity, and I just want to take this time off out as well before I pass it to Shawn, even to thank him on this call because I have been extremely successful, but I also lost that business. And just him taking time to discover this industry and having this knowledge for me to create another business for myself, I want to salute you, brother, and I want to thank you. And I'm pretty sure
Appreciate it.
everybody else that we've been able to touch and that's been able to experience success along this journey with us salute you as well. So I'm going to pass it to Shawn from there.
Well, listen, man, I definitely appreciate the kind words. I definitely appreciate you sharing your story to let people know how you got in this business. Like Byron said, I mean, I have been in real estate industry for about 15 years now. When I discovered wholesaling and real estate investing, I was about 8 years into the business, right? And I can tell you this, guys, this changed my life. Okay, at 8 years, I was still just a realtor, right? I was still just somebody that you call and say, "Hey, Sean, I need a place to rent," or "Hey, Sean, I got a pre-approval. Now I'm looking to buy a house that's 120, 130,000." And see, I'm a person from the inner city, right? I grew up on the east side of Detroit. I went to Persian High School, graduated in 2003. So my beginnings are humble, right? My mother was a person that worked at a plant. My father was a truck driver. And I say those things to say this: when we're talking about the real estate industry, your first clients are your friends and family, and then the co-workers of your parents. Okay. And so my parents weren't doctors, lawyers, surgeons, or anything of that nature. Like I said, dad's a truck driver. All of his friends made like $70,000 a year, right? So the homes that they could buy would be about 140, 150. Moms, her people probably made $40,000 a year. So the homes that they can buy are probably 100,000, 120. Our friends and family, same humble beginners as well. So I say that to say this about the numbers on the commission. And if I'm talking to other realtors here on this call tonight, you understand what we make, right? We make 3% of whatever the purchase price of a home is. So if I'm selling $100,000 house, that means I'm only making $3,000. And then back then, we even had to split the commission with the brokerage 50-50. So I'm doing a whole lot of work for $1,500, right? So I had to grind my ass off in order to make 40, 50 grand a year, right? Well, wholesaling changed all of that, okay? And, at about 8 years into the business, I said, hey, well, I've made a little bit of money and now I want to start investing into property. And so, having conversations with Byron and some of our other friends, I started talking about, you know, doing fix and flips and things like that. And we know how cell phones listen with the cookies and the Facebook algorithm and all that stuff. You start talking about cat litter, they're going to start giving you ads for cat litter, right? You start talking about your dog, you start getting ads for playpens and dog cages or whatever else it might be. And so I started getting ads for real estate investing. Um, Fix and flip your first property with less than $5,000 out of pocket. No experience necessary. You can make money in this business too, and all of that stuff, and blah, 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 right? And so I seen one of those ads, and they said, yeah, you can close and flip your first property with less than $5,000 out of pocket. I said, well, shit, I got less than $5,000, so let me give them a call and see what they're talking about. And I called that number, and they said, hey, Sean, yeah, you give us $3,000, we'll put you into a program, and we'll fund your fix and flip. And what a fix and flip is we find a fixer upper, and we put some money into it, right? 30, 40, $50,000, and then we sell it for a profit at the end. Sounds easy. Many people get into that and fail. And I was one of them. All right. And one of the reasons why I failed in that initial outing was because this company that said, hey, give me $3,000 and I'll fund, didn't actually make their money by lending out money. They actually made their money by getting people like me and you who are new in the business to send them $3,000 to be a part of the program, but they never actually fund anything because their rules and their systems are set up to where they only fund phenomenal deals. And 9 times out of 10, you ain't finding a phenomenal deal. But anyway, I went on this journey to find that deal that they were looking for. And whilst doing that, I discovered a property that was actually in the Bagley neighborhood, which is a really booming and banging neighborhood now. That's that 7 and Livernois area. Um, and the guy wanted $45,000 or $55,000 for the property. I went to see it, took a contractor. Contractor said, "Yep, I need about $30,000 in rehab budget to get this done, and let's do it." So put that deal together, signed the paperwork, got the appraisal. Long story short, the company that is only here to rob us of our $3,000 said, nope, the numbers ain't good enough for us to do the deal, right? I also had a deposit on that contract to secure that house with the person that was selling it, right? So it was $3,000 there. I had given them $3,000, so now I'm $6,000 in, right? And when they didn't fund that deal, in a regular real estate transaction, if your loan doesn't go through, you get your money back. In this transaction, that earnest money deposit is what that is called, was non-refundable. Okay. And so now I'm out of $3,000. well, shit, I'm out of $6,000 because these guys didn't fund the deal either, and now I don't have a deal. And so I sat back and I was pretty peed off about it, right? A little sad to be honest, because I had just got out of $6,000 that I begged and borrowed for, to be honest, like the second part of it. And sitting there, I said, well, wait a minute, something just happened because I didn't close the deal yet. This guy, who's this agent or whoever he is, still walks away with $3,000. And so I say that to say this: in every loss that we seem or we think we take, there's always two sides to that L. There's the loss and there's the lesson. Okay. And the loss was the money. But the lesson was, hey, this guy made $3,000. How did he do it? Let me take a look at this paperwork. And after reading that paperwork, I discovered that I wasn't actually buying the house from him. I was buying his position in the contract with the seller, which is what we do here wholesaling. And this is where I discovered the industry. All right. Now, that small discovery put me on a journey to where I said, okay, well, how do I do this for myself, right? And that's when you go into YouTube University. That's where you got to do the homework for yourself to figure out what's actually going on and how people are making money that you know nothing about, even though you've been a realtor for the past 8 years, right? So looking up what is wholesaling, looking up what kind of contract, what's an assignment contract, and going down that rabbit hole and figuring out what this industry was is what that did for me. And so I put my first home under contract. It was $70,000 in Hazel Park. I put it out there on Craigslist. I said, hey, somebody give me $80,000 for it. And somebody actually came and gave me $78,000 for it. And at that point, I made $8,000. Now, I just told you guys what commissions are as a realtor, right? $100,000, I make 1,500 bucks. Well, at a $70,000 property, for me to make $8,000 here was absolutely mind blowing, right? And this is that excitement that Byron was telling you about, right? Hey, B, I just made $8,000 on a $70,000 property. I'm about to do it again. Now I caught one for 50,000 and I made 54. Oh, and I caught one for 120 and I made 132. And so now these bags are rolling in, rolling in. And so this guy who's just your basic $50,000 realtor is making ten and $20,000 per month. Absolutely life changing information. And so, this is that same information that you guys are here to discover tonight that will allow you to take your income and explode it the way that I was able to take my income. So, let's move on in the presentation. This is this is kind of funny. This is the first deal that Byron and I closed together when we started Top Tier Solutions.
Definitely, definitely, and we don't have so many more good deals and good times and traveling and rewarding experiences from this opportunity. And I just want to take the time out to salute the opportunity, salute wholesale and real estate, and I just want to thank God for
Well,
the
you know what? I want
opportunity.
to take the time out to salute you, brother, because if it wasn't for you taking the bulls by the horn, right, and showing that, yo, Sean, this can change my life too, we probably wouldn't be here today. So yeah, I discovered it, right? But if it wasn't for you going on this journey with me, there would be no top tier solutions. There wouldn't be, millions of deals done in this. There's no telling where either one of us would be right now. So, I appreciate and thank God for a partner like you that was able to take the initiative and take that knowledge and put it to use to where we've grown this thing today.
Definitely, I appreciate that, brother. And God is great ultimately because it just goes back to what we were saying on this call. We're talking about discovering an opportunity that's changed our lives. But the most important thing, again, and you guys are gonna hear this as we continue to go along, is gonna be. Oh, don't get teary eyed on me now, brother.
Ah, nah, that's just sweat,
The
brother.
more,
It's a little
the
hot here.
most, the
A
most
little hot in the
important thing
office.
It's going to be taking action, taking action, taking action. If you're somebody who's been thinking about getting in the industry, you've been seeing me and Shawn posting deals over and over again. We may have ran across you. We're talking about deals we're closing. You might have gotten to this call from some of our students who have talked about their success. The number one thing I want you to remember is the opportunity is here. What it's going to boil down to what you do next. And I don't want you overthinking. I don't want you having what we like to call analysis paralysis, thinking about what if things go wrong. Listen, I didn't, with me and Shawn both are what you call entry level. We're beginners. We both started in this industry not knowing nothing about the industry. They're talking about now being going on. I'm going on my fifth, 6 year, 2019, 24 years, on my 6 year wholesaling real estate, from coming from knowing absolutely nothing about it, not having any type of background in investing in real estate. And I'm going on my 6 year in this business. So I encourage you, don't allow the skepticism, don't allow those mental thoughts to stop you from taking the leap. Because if you take the leap, as I did, as Shawn did, and we just kept chopping away, the rewards of this business, and we all love finances. We need finance. We need money. I love making money for sure. Thank God for the business for that. But what I love the most about this business is hands down the time freedom that it gives. I can do it from anywhere in the world, and just being able to really help others, being able to really turn my friends and family on to the real estate industry. So let's get to the meat and potatoes. And I'm gonna let Shawn talk about this because he again is the pioneer. But what is wholesaling, right? Some of you all really still after this call don't know what wholesaling real estate is. So Shawn, just break it down to them in its most simplest form, exactly what wholesaling real estate is.
Well, listen, so wholesaling real estate only brings itself to the forefront when there is distress. Okay? We deal in distress. One of the reasons our company's name is Top Tier Solutions is because we solve problems, right? And so every single home is not a blessing, contrary to popular belief. Every single inheritance is not something that falls on people well and they know what to do with it. So the pure definition of wholesaling is just connecting motivated sellers to buyers who are typically investors and making a profit in between. But how do we even do that, right? There has to be a distressed uh, situation. That distress can be physical. That's a bad roof. That's a bad foundation. That's a fire damage, right? There's a flood. Or it could be situational, which is a divorce or a death. Or it even could be, see, situational distress doesn't even always have to be from bad circumstances. Someone could get a new job across the country and need to sell the property that they're in, and they don't have time to list it with a realtor, go through somebody coming and doing an FHA loan or any other type of loan that takes 30 to 45 days, right? They need to get in, get out of that property immediately, and hopefully for cash, right? So when we find distressed property, whether it's situational or physical, that's where we're able to step in, use our formulas to make an offer on that property, and then take that property, market it to our investor clientele, and then make that 10, 15, $20,000 profit margin in between.
Now, Shawn, that was a great example, but I know a question that a lot of people that I've introduced to this business have at once you give that explanation. The first thing they ask me is, well, I don't have any investors. How do you get your investors? Where do you find your investors at? What would you answer to that?
Well, one way to find investors is to lock up a good deal at the end of the day. When you put that property and you put that marketing out for that property, the investors will come. And when I say put it out, that's you're going to list it on Craigslist, You're going to list it on Facebook Marketplace. You're going to talk to your friends and family in your warm market and just say, hey, I got a really good deal that could make somebody a lot of money. Um, if you know anybody that's looking to buy. So buyers come based on opportunities. It's kind of like the sandlot, right? If we build it, they will come. It's exactly the same thing. If you go out and secure a good deal, you're going to find buyers. But the one key thing here and what we offer here in Top Tier Solutions is 15 years in the business, right? It is a combined 20 some years of real estate experience. So that's 20 something years combined of relationships where you'd be able to bring that property to us and say, hey, Shawn, Byron, I have a good deal, or at least it is, I think I have a good deal. Can you run the numbers for me? And if you have a buyer for it, can you put it in front of them and let's break some bread together? See, that's one thing that we have really stood on in this whole journey is being able to break bread. And that's break bread with strangers, that's break bread with students. You know, we don't, it's not just about breaking bread between me and Byron. Like, we want everybody to be successful and to make money in this industry. And we've provided different opportunities in order to make that happen.
Yeah, great, great. And then so my next question is, how do I know if it's a good deal? Like this good deal that we're talking about is going to bring the investor buyers. How do I know that I'm looking at a good deal, or how do I identify a good deal?
Well, that's going to come with education. Okay. Knowing a good deal is simply going to come with learning the formulas that we use to find out whether a property is a deal at all, right? We're going to teach you some of those things. One of those things is called the 70% rule. And if we can get that up on the screen, you guys can follow along here. But the 70% rule says that we're going to look at a property's after repair value, and there's a formula for determining what the after repair value is too, right? Really quickly, we're going to look at the properties that's just like the property that we're looking at, right? So if we got a 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,000 square foot property, we're going to compare that one with the other 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1,000 square foot properties and see how much it sold for, right? Or see how much they sell for in that neighborhood. So if they sell for 150,000, that means when this one's all fixed up, it's going to sell for 150,000 as well. All right. Now, we take that 150,000 and multiply that times 0.70 or 70%, hence the 70% rule. Right? So 150,000 times 70% gives you $115,000, right? That's 150 minus $45,000. I mean $35,000. So next, you're going to subtract the amount of rehab costs that it would take to take this property from looking the way that it is to looking like those other properties that sold for $150,000. If that's $30,000, then we take away 30. If it's 50, then we take away 50, right? But at the end of the day, this is going to tell us how much an investor would pay us for that property. So if we took, 30,000 from that 115, then that leaves us with 85,000. And then we want to take away $10,000 to build ourselves a profit margin. So there's a formula. This is the slide that's on the screen is not as clear as I would like it to be. It has some extra stuff in it. Um, but at the end of the day, that formula is something that we teach. We take the properties after repair value, subtract the rehab costs from it, and then build ourselves some money in there for the in between profit, which is why we call it a wholesale fee or an assignment fee.
And you mean to tell me that, and this is for you guys who are out there taking notes, for those of you all who are serious about making money right away. So I'm able to just identify distressed property, whether physical distress, like you said, fire damage, flooding, need a new roof, broken windows, or a situational distress where somebody just motivated to sell and need to get rid of the property fast. And just by me putting the word of mouth out there to friends, family, relatives, driving by these properties, identifying this physical stuff, and they're doing my diligence, cost me no money. So I haven't come out of
Not a
any
dime.
I haven't come out of any money yet, just information and taking action and taking this here. Once I identify that distressed property, I just need to take this 70% rule and calculate it so I can know what this property is worth and how much money I'm going to make. And this costs me nothing.
Absolutely. But here's the other thing. Let's even simplify it. What does this really look like in real life? This looks like Auntie Sarah got the house from grandma, right? Auntie Sarah got the house from grandma. Grandma ain't got the roof done in years. The plumbing is messed up. This place needs work, right? Auntie Sarah want to sell it. You know, she ain't giving Uncle Bob and them nothing, or she might, but the house was left to Auntie Sarah. So now Auntie Sarah, you want to sell the house? Okay, cool. Let me go over there. Let me take a contractor over there to tell me how much this house worth, right? Or no, not let me take the contractor to tell me how much it's worth. Let me take the contractor to tell me how much work it needs and how much money it's gonna cost me to fix it up, right? So we go over to the house with the contractor. Contractor say 40,000. I come back to Byron and Shawn, or even if I don't even team up with Byron and Shawn, I found a way to run comparables and find out what the other houses in the area is selling for. I look at that. Oh, they're selling for 150. Contractor said I'm gonna need 40,000 to fix it up. We do that math, and then we put it under contract. Tell Auntie Sarah, hey Auntie, I'm gonna get you 60,000. We take pictures. We do a little write up that says, "Hey, nice 3 bedroom, 1 bath house for sale, $70,000." Right? This is real life scenario. So Auntie expecting 50. We sell it. We get 70,000 from the end buyer. We make $20,000 in between. That didn't cost you any money. It cost you very little time. Auntie Sarah happy because she got the 50 because she wouldn't have been able to get it from nobody else, and you happy because you made $20,000 in between.
So
Simple.
literally, only thing I have to have is the information to put all this together.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. And that's why I love this business so much, is because it's low overhead. Like you literally don't have no overhead. Now you if I were to if you were to say what would it cost somebody to be in this business, what would it cost? Is it really just that education information, or will I have to spend some money?
I wouldn't open any business expecting not to spend anything, right? You don't want to come into this thing and say, "Oh, I don't got to put up no money out of pocket." Well, the fact of the matter is, you do need to kind of contribute to your education. There are ways to get around that where you can, do as much YouTubing as you want, but you're still going to need to invest in systems and CRMs and things like that, to be able to run comps, to be able to pull leads, to be able to send marketing out and things of that nature. But we're also not talking about $10,000. We're not talking about $5,000. Hell, we're not really even talking about $2,000. I mean, if somebody has $1,500, they could very well quadruple or 10x that in 30 days. Really. If somebody has $1,200, that's going to get you started and get you some direct mail sent out, and you'll be able to do a hell of a lot with that too.
Probably close a few deals, huh?
So I would say, my honest answer, minimum, you might want to have $1,000 to
That's
really
one.
take this thing and take it to the moon.
Yeah, and I asked that because for those of you out there watching and taking notes, right? If somebody came to you and said, "Hey, give me $1,000 today," right, and I'll show you how to make $10,000 in the next 30 days, would you guys do that? I just want to pause for a minute and let that sink in. If somebody came to you with a realistic proposal, a realistic opportunity, and said, hey, whatever you got to do, if you got $1,000 today, $1,000 a day, and this isn't the text message people who say flip your thousand overnight. This is a real scenario. This is a real life scenario. If somebody said, hey, if you're willing to invest $1,000 today, I can almost close to guarantee you, as long as you do the work, as long as you follow exactly the steps to what we're going to tell you to do, and you do it, you'll make $10,000 plus in the next 30 days. Would you guys do that? I want you to think about that because that was the opportunity for me when I started. And honestly, that $1,000 is kind of a stretch, but it comes along with all the tools and resources that you're going to need to guarantee. See, nobody guaranteed me
Right.
that 10K in 30 days, right? I was hoping that that happened. And I actually didn't end up closing my first deal till about 4 months after I actually got started. And that was starting on for the free ski. That was the straight free ski. No paying for education. Thanks, Shawn, for giving me the game he gave me. But I didn't invest in I didn't have any back end system like REI Pro or anything like that. I literally was straight out the mud, Craigslist, piecing everything together, and it worked out for me. But what we're here to ask you, not even tell you, ask you, if you had an opportunity to invest $1,000 today to make $10,000 30 days from now by having a student mentality and a consistent 2 hours, 1 hour to 2 hours of work, 3 days a week, would that 10K be worth it for you? So I want you guys to think about that as we transition to the next slide. Cool. So here we're going to see a couple more our students' testimonials.
I wanted to get into real estate. I knew I wanted to learn and, become a investor eventually, but I didn't want to have to spend a lot of money up front. And that's the reason why, I was very interested in becoming a wholesaler because I know that you really don't need credit and you really don't need a lot of money down to start.
That's one of our students, Deja. She's a phenomenal student. Not only is she a great student and she's experienced great success in our program, but she actually became a very pivotal business partner of ours. Shout out Days. She's actually behind the scenes orchestrating and running this call. So shout out Days. Not only did she take the information to be extremely successful wholesaling with us, but she sees the opportunity even further, and she's actually managing this call. So because she understands what the opportunity has done for her, and if you really, I really would like it if she play that clip one more time because she really speaks to what I talked about as far as the apprehensions that she had coming into the business and what she discovered once she closed her first deal, as far as what she didn't want to spend money on and how we made that easier for her. So, Dave, if you can play that clip one more time.
Get into real estate. I knew I wanted to learn and, become a investor eventually, but I didn't want to have to spend a lot of money up front. And that's the reason why, I was very interested in becoming a wholesaler because I know that you really don't need credit and you really don't need a lot of money down to start.
Couldn't have put it better. Now, we're here to help you succeed, right? So if anybody has questions, we're open. Ask us anything. But this call is strictly, and I'm going to be quite frankly up front. It's not only to help you guys succeed, we're very passionate about that. But honestly, what I love the most about training and developing people is, like Shawn was talking about earlier, we've been able to make money with all of our students. So we have one student right now is going crazy. Ryan, he came in and he did about $100,000 in his first 30 days in the business. And I just did a deal with Ryan that actually closed today. We made $24,000 on that deal, and he's going to get $12,000. I'm going to get $12,000. He took this information and he was able to bring a deal to the table, and one of my buyers actually purchased the deal. And so we split that deal down the middle, 50-50. And then we actually have another deal that's going to be closing between Friday and Monday to where that is reversed, where actually one of our other students brought the deal to the table. I partnered with them in securing it, Ryan brought the buyer, and we're going to be splitting that deal 15,000 three ways, $5,000 a piece. So not only do we like helping people succeed, but everybody knows that,
And
you know,
that's a beautiful thing.
yeah, most definitely. But everybody
That's
knows,
so let's not just skate past that. We're not talking about me or you or somebody that has 10 years of experience. We're talking about one of our students here, right? That hasn't been in the business a whole lot of time, doesn't have real estate training, doesn't have a real estate license, right? But you just called out a $17,000 week for him.
yeah, and that was simply
A
by him taking.
$17,000 week, not month, not 3 months, week, right? So imagine what a $10,000 week would look like for you right before Christmas or right before the holiday season. Like we have to really take into account the realization of this stuff not being normal,
Right.
right? This isn't normal stuff going on right now, but it's normal to us because we live it every single day, every single week, every single month. And honestly, guys, and I'm not, listen, anybody who knows Sean Barganier or Done Deal knows I'm not selling nobody shit, right? I'm showing you the opportunity, and if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, we move on and keep it pushing because it's not gonna, you know, what you do, it ain't gonna really affect me if you say no, right? So here's the opportunity. Take it, take it by the horns, grab life by the horns, and let this thing power you to immense success. It's
Definitely,
not
and
normal.
the most important thing to take away is that Daza, Ryan, who we talked about, and Mr. Wilson, who you guys are going to hear from now on the screen, they literally just took the basics of this information that we are talking to you guys about, and they took action. So, Days, if you can play the clip from Mr. Wilson, that'll be great.
First, and it was intimidating at first. And after getting past the intimidation, I started making progress. Byron has been a good teacher and a mentor to me. I've learned so much from him. You know, you need to learn all the basics. For about maybe 3 weeks to a month, Byron and I, we closed our first deal.
So that's Mr. Wilson. I'm sharing a quick story about Mr. Wilson. So I met Mr. Wilson through actually a lady friend that I was kicking it with, and she was learning wholesaling from me at the time, and she knew Mr. Wilson. And so she was talking to Mr. Wilson about wholesaling, and Mr. Wilson lived all the way in Columbus, Ohio. I never met Mr. Wilson in person before, but we started talking over the phone about the opportunity. He was very interested. He joined the program. I started to train and develop him, and like he said, within about 3 months of us kind of locking in with each other, Mr. Wilson closed his first deal, and we never met in person. And we split a deal down of about 15,000, and I've closed multiple deals with Mr. Wilson since then. And to this day, me and Mr. Wilson are the best of friends. We've broke down many bags together. We've helped each other feed our families, and I have still never actually met Mr. Wilson in person, face to face, which is crazy because we're so close. We spend so much time on the phone. We do so much business together, but we haven't been in the same room physically. We will be soon, but that's just another example of just someone being willing and ready to take action and getting the results that we're talking to you guys about here on this call. So I feel like we kind of delivered enough of our story, our passion, showing you guys our students, showing you guys their success stories. We can go on and on about that. We talked to you guys about how to find deals. Literally, anybody who really took notes on this call, if you took great notes, you already have the necessary tools and resources to actually go out and find deals today. We've given you a ton of ways to do that. We talked about contacting your friends, family, and relatives that you're looking to invest in real estate, seeing what they have in the pipeline. We talked about going on Craigslist. We talked about Facebook Marketplace. We talked about subscribing for dollars. Sean threw out there direct mail, sending out direct mail to motivated sellers. We talked about identifying distress situations and talking to those people about selling their homes, stress physical situations, talking to those people about selling their homes. Literally, for those of you all who are self starters and ambitious, you literally have the tools to go out tomorrow and start sourcing deals and start making money in this industry right away. Now, for those of you all who are like, hey, it's clicking, I'm understanding, but I really need to know a little bit more. I really feel like it'll be great to have you guys is on my line for Q&A after this call. I really feel like having that hands-on experience. I hear you guys talking about your community and how successful the people in your community are. I hear that, and this is something that I want to be a part of. I'm here because I've been thinking about wholesaling real estate. I've been thinking about investing in real estate. I kind of been juggling. I've been running into a lot of fluff out there in the market. I'm looking to tap into like-minded people who kind of come from the same background as yourself, right? Who also started off entry level, who wasn't just handed a position into the real estate and investing. For those of you all, we're here for you. And I talked about at the beginning of this call that we're going to do something very special and have an opportunity for you guys this holiday season to get started now in the real estate wholesaling field industry and be on your path to making your first 10K profits in the next 30 days or less. But let's not just put our attention and focus on making 10K, because as we just talked about, one of our students, including myself, it's been a phenomenal week. Sean has had a phenomenal week as well, but I just wanted to highlight
I ain't gonna, no, I
our
didn't.
I just wanted to highlight our students just making $17,000 this week just from the information going into Christmas. That's the stuff that really excites me. That's what I'm extremely passionate about. I know that's what Sean is passionate about. We've both been doing this for over 4 years, going on five, no, over 5 years. I'm sorry. I'm going into my 6th year in this wholesaling industry, and we're just excited to team up and bring more people to the team because you help us grow and we're going to help you grow. So what we're doing, because we're super excited and we want everybody to kick off 2025 with a blast, we're looking to scale our business up and have a blast. Not only are we offering for those of you all who stuck around the call, who tuned in, who's ready to take the initiative, we're offering you our fully automated real estate wholesaling course from top to bottom with us live. So this is not just the automation of a computer. This is you getting me live. This is you getting Sean live. This is you getting all of our visuals. This is you getting access to all of our contracts. This is you getting access to all of our resources. This is not only that, but this is you having a chance to also earn money right away while you learn in this business. Just from identifying deals, you're going to be able to make 20% by us taking those deals, walking you through the rest of the process, and closing that deal for you. We're going to teach you step by step by step. We're going to hold your hand through each step of the way. And we're going to offer these live one-on-one coachings and access to myself and Sean to you all the way through you closing your first deal in the wholesaling industry. And
Yeah,
the
so
best,
Byron, let me touch on that earn while you learn thing a little bit. So, as you see on the screen, we're gonna teach you everything that you need to know, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to learn all of these steps before you're able to make money in this business. One thing that is very, 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 very unique about what we do at Top Tier Solutions is that we give you guys the opportunity to learn one part of the business, get good at that, and make money doing that, right? See, we've taken the wholesale deal and broken it down to four equally paying parts. We have students from every walk of life you can imagine that come into top tier that say, hey, I want to learn this business and be successful in it, right? Some of these people have speech impediments, right? That means that everybody doesn't want to call a stranger and say, "Hey, Mr. Stranger, I want to buy your house." Like, they don't want to have a conversation with a stranger and stutter through that conversation. They aren't confident enough to do that, right? So we say, "Hey, if you bring a deal to the table," and what does bringing a deal to the table mean? That means that you bring the property address and you bring the contact information for the seller. If you do that only, right? You're driving for dollars, you get the address, we'll show you how to skip trace owners. That's another term that you'll learn in the course. But if you are able to just bring a deal to the table, put it on the table, and our table is, our Telegram or WhatsApp or whatever way we choose to communicate, right? And we pick it up and we make a deal happen out of that, then you're going to make 20% of whatever commission is paid on that deal, right? The average commission on a real estate wholesaling contract in the state of Michigan is $10,000. So you make $2,000 just from doing that. All right. We have young ladies that don't want to go out to properties and walk them, right? They're just really good at calling strangers and setting appointments. So that person is going to make 20% of a deal, right? Just from, hey, we brought one to the table. Here's the phone number. Okay, well, you call it, set us up to go out and see it. That's a 20% commission. We go out to the property, walk it, access the rehab, and get the property under contract. That person makes 20%. And lastly, somebody's got to buy it for anybody to make money. So if you have a buyer for that property and you just bring the buyer, you're going to make 20% of the deal. Right? So you don't have to learn this whole business before you're able to get paid in this business. And that's something that is unique to Top Tier Solution. It's something that we're really proud of. And it's something that has helped many dozens of students make money in real estate and real estate wholesaling over the past 6 years, essentially.
Definitely, Sean. That earn while you learn is extremely important. And that's why we've committed to giving all of you guys who have participated on this call today the opportunity to take full advantage of our 7 steps to success, top tier solutions, earn while you learn course. And I can't tell you how long this special price is going to be around, but we are offering it to you guys who catch this call, who tap into the link that's going to be posted on this call. We're going to have it up for a couple of days. For those who take advantage of this link, you're going to be locked into that 997 offer to get our full opportunity and our full course. Also, as you've seen on the screen, Days, if you can put that screen back up with the offer. We also know that we all have bills. The holiday is coming up. Even though I really don't like to give that stuff as an excuse because I was always trained is your why cannot be your why not. This is a chance for you guys to 10x your income. Those of you all who are going to take it serious. This is a chance for you guys to add a completely whole nother income stream into your existence. So I really encourage you all to figure it out, take advantage of this 997 offer. And we also have a chance for you if you don't have the full 997, you can pay in installments with any of those resources there. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm super excited for those of you all who took the time out to sit in on this call. Obviously, we enjoy our free time, but we love bringing this information and give you a chance to team up with us. We're also recruiting, right? We're looking to work with go getters, other like minded entrepreneurs, even those of you all who are entry level and just feel like you don't have a clue what you're doing with this real estate thing. Those are my favorite students personally because those are the guys who typically turn out to be the studs. And those of you all who are self starters, I just encourage you to get the course. Let us guide you through the entire process. We're here for you. And let's close some deals together and have a phenomenal 2025 and beyond. Again, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. We will do our best to answer them. We will do our best to get back with you. If you're going through the link and the sign up process. Everything is pretty much smooth selling. But if you have any questions, we are here. We're real people. We have a team in place to answer any questions for you. But we're ready to go. Let's get started. Let's close your first deal heading into January 2025. Instead of waiting on a tax refund, let's close some tens of thousands of dollars deals and begin your journey in this wholesaling industry. So again, I appreciate you guys taking time out, and we're gonna let. This is actually Ryan who had the $17,000 a week that we were speaking of. We're gonna let him really carry this out because he's so passionate. Dave, roll the clip.
We popped a bottle. We popped another Creole ball. Stop playing. We didn't pop a bottle. We popped another listing. Stop playing with me.
Okay, roll this one.